I went ahead and grabbed a few more photos that I thought might be helpful and found a couple more stock photos as well. So what we're going to do in this lesson is bring in those photos, start gathering our text, and just kind of roughly getting things in place. That's all we're going to focus on right now. So here's a few more of the photos I found, and they're okay. Some of them are pretty grainy because we did grab them from the web, but some of them look a lot better. And like this one, little kid having a good time. He's got his headlamp on for those tunnels. And this one at the entrance, and another one, smiling kid. Again, this really speaks to the ad as far as it's family friendly, which is I know what we're going for here. And then I found a few more stock photos as well. I'm in my library. I'll just drag this right over into my document, and you can see this is another one I found actually on Adobe Stock, which I was surprised. If this isn't the right park, it sure looks a lot like it. So I figured it's a good one to use. And I have another one here of them entering into the tunnel. It's not as close to what I'm looking for though, because again, their backs to the camera. I want to see faces, and all that black again isn't that flattering, but we could do an ad that speaks to the tunnels and stuff as well. And so what I want to do now is just start working with this, and I like this image. The reason why is it gives me a lot of space to work with. To drop text over the top, it really shows off the landscape and how pretty it is there. So we'll start here, and what I did, I just drug a copy of this over into my canvas here, my artboard, sorry. And you see this little cloud here on the icon. That tells me this is part of one of my cloud assets. So I can apply filters and things, and I can modify this. And I'm not committed to this photo yet. Obviously it still has the watermark, but as soon as we get approval from the client that this is the ad they want to roll with, all I need to do is license this in my library. Right click, license image, and then that watermark will go away. So we can do all these adjustments, and then at the end of this thing, license this, or maybe we'll get another idea down the road and use an entirely different image. So what I do now, I'm just going to bring this in and start resizing things, scaling it up, and seeing what I have to work with. And I can bring this up if I wanted to. That number will go away as well when we license this image. I kind of like the idea of putting them on what would be the ground of this ad, and then having lots of headspace to bring in our text. So I'm going to go ahead and hit return to commit that change here. And let's dive in and grab our bike assets here for the text. And I'll work a couple different ways. Typically, I'll bring this in line by line. So for this mountain bike top 10 pick, I'll just grab that whole line of text, Command C to copy. I'll come in here with my type tool. I'll change my fill to white. Click once and paste. It came in really small, so hit Command T to free transform to bump this up. Okay, and that's not the font I want to use. I'm going to use Oswald. And I don't have this on my system, so this is a great time to see if this is in Typekit. I'll do a quick search, and it's not in here, and I already knew it wouldn't be, but this was a good exercise. What happens if it's not in here? Well, let's do a Google search for it. And I already know it's going to be in Font Squirrel or as a Google font here. We could do either one. I'll just show you Font Squirrel since it's here. This is another great resource for free fonts that you can use in any project. So here's Oswald. I'll go ahead and download this TrueType font. That's what TTF stands for, is TrueType font. And once it downloads, I'll click once to unzip the file. I'll highlight all of these, hit Command O to open them all at once, and then install the font. So once I have that font installed, I'll go ahead and jump back over into Photoshop and see if it picks it up right away, or if I need to close and reopen it. There it is, Oswald. Now that's Oswald Stencil Bold. So this is close enough to that website font, so I'll just drop this in for right now as a placeholder to get our title in there. And then I'm going to start bringing in the other assets here. Now for the bullet points, because we can't really do bullet points in InDesign, I'm going to show you a little trick here on how I use a system called Font Awesome. It's just another font that lets me do icons and bullet points, etc. So we're going to do that once we get our text in here. We'll come back to that to get those bullet points. So I'm just copying and pasting, and then Command T to get my free transform, just to scale stuff up a little bit and get it close to what I'm looking for here. Let me go ahead and just hit fast forward here so you don't have to sit here and watch this whole thing. All right, here we go. As you can see, we have a lot of content to try and gracefully place in this ad without it looking too busy. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save, Command S on my computer here, so that way at least we save where we're at. And in the next lesson, we're going to go ahead and refine this layout a little bit further.